And we are
What do I have to
live. What's up,
What am I
everybody?
holding? What am I holding?
You have to hold it.
What am I holding?
How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to our main campaign episode, Wednesdays 8:30. This is episode 22 of our campaign. Catching in podcast form, all that kind of stuff. A little bit of news up front. We do still have the giveaway going on. Evan is either going to give away one of those, what was the little booklet called, or a handbook of your choice.
Let me see if I have it here.
Yeah, show it off again. We need to keep the news going.
On top of it. This is the roll and play guide, the Game Master's Fancy Toolkit. If you guys know who Matt Mercer is, he likes to advertise this all the time on everything. But this is just it's actually really nice, like really nicely printed out. But it has like a ton of different type of encounters you can do, like meadow encounters, urban encounters. There's random NPC names. There's literally every kind of table that you would need as a DM, just to kind of build characters and encounters and what's going on in a town and a world. And the other one was very useful tool. The other one was a player's handbook. So anybody that wants to get into D&D, there might be a little bit of an extra prize that comes along with that. But that's secret when it comes down to that, though.
So you heard it here first. At 100 followers, we're gonna select random follower to gain a player's handbook with a little special gift, or the roll and play guide of your choice. Other than that, I don't think we have any big news. We did the first episode of the new Nights Off last week, on Saturday. That was fun. Mac and I hung out, talked about Kenobi, and
we were
some
gushing
rules
for like 40 minutes about Kenobi.
A little bit. So check that out if you like Star Wars or just want to hear us talk about weird house rules that we have for no reason. And this Saturday we're doing Speechless Nights, which is our little bit of a recap of the big moments show. It's not going to be a full recap. It's going to be more dedicated to the moments that left us speechless.
Is it this Saturday or the following?
The following Saturday. Yes, that's a good point. The following Saturday, pretty much next stream, because I am going on vacation, and apparently the stream couldn't happen without me. So they love me too much. So this
maybe I'll run it.
Exactly. This Saturday and Wednesday we'll have nothing on them, and then we'll pick back up with that Speechless Nights. So yeah. Sorry, but we're taking a week hiatus. Blame me if you need to.
How dare you?
I know. I'm sorry.
You bitch.
But yeah, that's all I got. I don't know if anyone else wants to throw anything else in there.
We have a couple
stuff.
Big shout out to all of my homies from over Sin County RP that decided to follow my channel, or our channel, I guess, not my channel.
Hey,
right on. I was gonna say.
I see Marshall's in the chat right now. So what's up?
We have a couple new followers. I was just gonna shout. Maybe they're in there.
They're probably all there. Mr. Blackthorn says hello, Marshall.
Us versus the Buff.
And
Draco Markham and
Mr. Draco. Audio. What's going on, buddy?
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for following. All right. Well, that's all I got.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
I hope everyone's doing well tonight.
I'm not doing well.
Why?
I'm doing fine. I don't know. I just wanted to create some chaos.
So, we continued our adventure as the Forgotten Few stood on a bridge along the Golden Road inside the Great Rift, and where you guys were led by a mysterious guide, a drow guide named Velkin, who now belongs in the party. Along the Golden Road, you stood on a bridge after battling these mysterious hell-like creatures. They were kind of a mishmash between a wolf and some kind of a man-bat-like creature. Some of them able to speak some language that none of you understood, and able to communicate with one another and cast some sort of a spell or an ability that let them enter into this fiery gate and teleport away. It seemed like close and far, by the way they had escaped. After some a little bit of discovery. You found 4 dead kobolds under the bridge. And Calder, whenever you went to investigate them a little bit more, you realized that when you began to rummage through their goods, that they are almost like a husk of their old self. And whenever you began to touch them, they began to turn to ash. Almost perfectly preserved, but with a lack of color to their skin. They turned to ash. Kind of recognizing like the oh shit moment and remembering that you had gotten bit by one of these creatures, you decided to investigate the wound that was on your arm. The color of your skin now discolored, your gray skin turning to a pale white. And when you touched it, skin began to peel off, turn to flakes of ash. A little bit panicked, seeing what had happened to those kobolds, you're not too sure what to do. A lot of panic. You weren't too sure what to do, but to continue on and hope that the orcs within the large forest that Mizo had told you about once before would be able to help you. So you continue to travel down the long golden road through this desert-like landscape that was the rift, with these large stones kind of jutting out of the earth as if something had pushed from underneath them. A long, straight road you traveled. You could see the oasis that was in the middle of this rift far off in the distance. And as you continued to travel, you kept eyes on your wound as it got worse and worse. And eventually finding yourselves at the outside of the oasis, it seemed odd, as it was almost as if this thing was dropped right here in the middle of this desert-like landscape. This beautiful expanse of trees stood in front of you from one side of the rift to the other, miles long. The trees themselves were not really dispersed in any one way or another, but it was almost as if it was a straight line the whole way across. An oddity. You all stood there for a moment in awe before heading in. As it was beginning to get dark by the time you had arrived here. When you entered the forest, all the light sources that you guys ignited seemed rather dim. The light didn't really emit off of its source as far as you guys would kind of remember them doing so in the past. And Ren, thinking a little bit outside of the box, stepped out of the tree line and looked in to see if you were able to see the light sources of your party. It was as if you had held a blanket over a light bulb or a candle, barely able to see the light. Something was odd about this forest. Trees spaced out about 4 to 5 feet apart in all directions. The bricked road that you had been following now kind of winding through the forest, no longer a straight, long road. And the water, the river that you guys were following that had curved away from you, now found its place next to the road once again. You decided to take a watch with no real safe place to put your backs. You decided to make camp around the trees here. Isaiah, deciding to stay up throughout the night to continue his work on Ook and other projects, while the rest of you kind of sat around the rest of the party and discussed a few things that had been going on. When all of a sudden a commotion began, as a small little stone spear was jabbed into Isaiah's side by a familiar little face that you guys all had thought you left behind when you first entered the rift. Mizo, the kobold that you'd once froze and threw off a cliffside, questioned and begged for answers, and who eventually had just left after you refused to give him any shinies, made his presence known to you, Isaiah, and asked, well, more like demanded, that you give the shiny that was inside Ook, the stone that gave him life, the one consumed by the flames of chaos, that you were gifted by the centaur almost a month back now. Almost in a threatening manner, you scared him off until he ascended upon Ook's shoulders and put his spear in Ook's neck, causing a commotion, waking the others and sending the ones that were on watch running over. Threats, questions, everything were made between you, your party, and Mizo, the kobold. But eventually a deal was struck. But not before Ren, I believe it was Ren, had snatched an odd little black gem that seemed to be causing Ook's life source to be drained or the flame inside him to be nullified in some way that he was kind of threatening you with as he demanded the shiny inside of him. This gem was snatched out of Mizo's hand and seeming to be a little bit panicked, and knowing the dire situation that Calder was in, seeing now that his arm was nothing but a hole almost down to the bone, the curse or disease, well, it wasn't disease because you would know that, has spread up his arm into his hands and above his elbow. Mizo struck a deal with all of you. First was that he would take you to what he called his protector, and that protector would be able to heal that exact ailment that is affecting Calder this entire time, saying that he has seen this stuff before, and that his protector had healed many people that had had the same ailment. But there was one condition, that he would eventually be returned the shiny that you took from him, that Calder would carry it, and that he would eventually lead you into the Black Gate that you now seek, deep within the underground dwarven ruins, the old home of the old dwarves that used to call this rift home. Past the Golden Gate that Mizo had mentioned before, deep underground, Mizo had delved. I almost said dwelt, but I meant delved. A long time ago, in search of different types of shinies, he told you that he came upon a cavern, in which he found many, many likenesses of this exact stone, obsidian. He demanded that you take him back there, let him collect as many shinies as he would like, and to leave. And in return, he would heal Calder and lead you to the Black Gate. You all agreed, knowing that Calder's situation was dire enough, whether or not this little creature was being truthful, you knew that you could at least get Calder some help by following Mizo. So you tied him up for the evening, in which he seemed to be able to get out of his bonds many, many different times, before eventually, the next morning, you woke up. And Mizo began to lead you to the center of this oasis in the middle of the Great Rift, through these large fir trees that loomed overhead, causing a coolness to cast over all of you, then kind of getting rid of the desert heat that you had all been succumbed to the past couple of days. Eventually, he led you to this large, I don't want quite call it a lake, but a lagoon. And in the center was a large stone, I don't want to call it a structure, but almost as if it was a structure, in the center of this lagoon, with a massive tree that stood at its center. Mizo said one thing, and it was for Calder to strip naked and swim out to the rock, to Mizo's protector, which he told you had not moved in many, many years. All of you assuming that it was some sort of a creature that lived inside the tree itself. So Calder, listening to this wily creature, you stripped down, the hole in your arm festering. You decided to walk into the pool. And as you waded farther and farther into the lagoon, your arm completely disintegrated into ash. Panicked for but a moment, you decided to push on. And eventually, as you swam, the water splashing in your face, Trudging on, your eyes went black. You woke up upon a mountaintop overlooking a large coastal city. Familiar city to you. But you weren't yourself. It was as if you were above yourself, looking down upon a memory of a gentleman in a wide-brimmed hat and a familiar female face standing next to you, talking about opportunity. And now that it was going to be seized by you and your two companions. When you seemed to have gained consciousness in your own body again, you stood at the edge of this mountaintop. And next to you was a familiar figure. But for the first time, you saw this woman with her gray-white gown and robes, hood back for the first time, this long, white, silvery hair that fell long down past her back and over her breast. She looked out, these beautiful sapphire-like eyes, deep blue, with no iris. She once again asked you about the oath that she had mentioned to you when you stood over your parents' grave in Hardcastle. But this time, she did not make you take this oath, the same oath that she said your father had once taken, but to form your own. For it is now your journey. She knows that this oath that she kind of had given you once before didn't seem right. Didn't seem to fit the path that you were taking. With a sense that she would be by your side no matter what choice you took, she leapt from the cliffside. And as you went to look over, your eyes opened, and your hand, alongside the arm that was missing, that had turned to ash, was pressed up against the side of this rock. When all of a sudden you felt a deep rumble within the earth. And as if the roots were being uplifted from depths of hell itself, the tree that stood above you, 50, 60 feet in the air, began to move. Two massive legs and arms reaching out stepped into the lagoon next to you and began to walk in a northbound direction through the Great Rift. All of you seeing this from a distance, what all of you had seen was Calder swim out. Some of you with higher passive perceptions may have noticed that he was only swimming with one arm at one point. Swimming vigorously until within a few 5-minute swim, I would say maybe even less, you see him reach out of the water and touch the rock with his with his good hand. And then all of a sudden, you see him reach up with the one that had disappeared. And then the tree began to move. That is where we will continue our journey.
The way that the tree moved, is that the direction we were traveling?
Opposite direction. It was the direction that you had come from, yes.
Okay. I will...
All of you just see this thing striding through the pool. Hundreds of feet each stride. Through the forest it went, as if the trees kind of part way as this thing begins to walk. It gently just glides through the forest with a slow rumble.
Just kind of flex the hand, make sure it's working, kind of feel it with the other, like almost not believing it. Okay. and turn and start swimming back to rejoin with the others.
What are the rest of you doing at this moment? As the
Should-
tree begins to just walk through the lagoon.
Damn, I gotta get me one of those trees.
Should we be concerned?
I mean, it seems like he's perfectly healed. Did its job.
Miso is still with. Oh wait, no, that's right. Miso's still in the water. Still
He
below.
never went to the water. He went to the shore, and kind of guided Calder to the water. And as you look down, you see him scampering back and forth on all fours. Kind of looks like he's celebrating in some sort of a way. You see him jump up and throw a fist in the air. He seems excited.
Miso,
Uh,
is this normal?
Protector hasn't moved in years. You hear him yell back.
So what made him move?
He doesn't say anything. He just goes back to his excited cheering. You hear
well,
woohoos
Castus-
and all sorts of things from him. Whoops and hoots.
Cassis is gonna pick up Calder's stuff and kind of trudge over to meet him at the edge.
Yeah, Velkin will follow, and Calder gets out of the water. She's gonna whistle. And she's gonna be like, I was going to whistle earlier, but I don't know at the time if you were going to lose your hand or not, so I wanted to wait to see how things played.
I guess just like standing there, soaking wet, rippling muscles glistening in the morning sun.
You're just a flat board, let's be honest. The first thing as Calder gets back, Mizo runs up to you. He's the first one to catch you. And he kind of jumps up and grabs your hand, the one that was previously removed. And he goes, look, Mizo told you, Protector will heal you. He's real. Protector haven't moved in years.
Yeah, he's real, all right.
No one believes Mizo. Mizo's a big protector. Save Mizo all time. Look.
And you
I
see in the
see.
distance he points, you can just see the top of a tree far off in the distance at this point.
What's this mean, Mizo?
Mizo don't know. Last time Mizo saw Protector move, he picked Mizo up, dropped Mizo here, stood on rock and never moved again.
Maybe
You
he's got
have
something
no
to
idea
do.
where he's going.
Mizo, you say that the Protector helped you. What was happening that made him help you?
Mizo got caught sneaking deep dwarven hole. Orcsies outside caught Mizo sneaking in. He saved Mizo from Orcsies. They were going to kill me.
Is Protector heading same direction he brought you from? Is he heading toward Orcsies?
No, he heads towards where you just came.
Is there anything way we came that he'd want to see?
I don't know. I ain't no Protector.
I mean, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Mizo should probably follow him, though. Bye!
No.
Hold on. Well,
Oh, Mizo, we had a deal. I'll start taking my stuff from Castus and getting dressed.
His shoulders kind of slump as he's facing away from all of you. Stamps his foot in the dirt.
But Mizo wants to go with a Protector.
What about all the shinies?
Yeah, so you don't want your shiny anymore?
His eyes just narrow towards you, Castus.
You said you would lead us, Mizo.
You get all the shinies you want.
As many as Mizo could carry.
Wow.
Well, I'll carry some for you
Still.
to get us there.
And we survive.
Mizo gets shiny first. Then he finds a protector.
There you go. That sounds like an excellent idea, and he's pretty big, so you should be able to find him fairly easily.
Loud
Right.
too.
I wouldn't expect him to move again too soon, though. Trees bend in the wind; they don't blow with it. You're all set now. We should
Yeah.
probably find a place to. I don't know. Are we going to bed down, or are we just going to keep pushing forward?
Just a reminder, all of you did skip sleep the evening before. You pushed on
Yeah.
through the night to
Yep.
get here in the morning, fearing for Calder's safety.
I've got the exhaustion to prove it.
Isaiah's
Yeah.
working on 2 nights now.
Yeah,
Falcon, you
maybe we
passed
should.
your test, by the way. You passed your test. You're not exhausted, Falcon, for staying up all night.
DM, I just wanted to ask. I guess with the mention of wind, is there a wind going right now?
A light breeze, not a
Is it
heavy
going-
wind.
Is it going in a specific direction? Yeah, I will actually just do the test.
It's going west,
In which direction is the big protector heading to?
north.
Oh, okay, all right. Just figured, wind connection from earlier. So okay, cool.
Yeah, I can see maybe the water side here. Good a place to camp as any.
Works for me.
Sounds good to me.
Pretty tired.
Yeah, me too.
It's been a long night.
Yeah.
The middle of the
Lisa.
morning at the moment,
Got
by the way.
Got this at least, huh? All right.
Yeah.
So,
So Mizo going to lead you to Orxys today, yes?
After like a nap.
after some sleep.
Nap? What you need nap for?
Well, I'm tired, so
So we've been on the
That's
move.
fine.
for a
Oh, you're
long-
tired.
long time.
yeah.
Stupid.
Some of us are old.
Mizo could go for days without sleep.
That's impressive, Miso.
Well, I mean,
You
you,
can't.
So it's
I mean,
like a
you d-
human. They need to.
yeah.
Eh.
It's pretty weak. I know. Sleep.
I mean,
needs a-
we don't have giant protector to look after us. We need to look after
Yeah, we
ourselves.
Luke's right here.
Well-
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, sure. I know he's big, but not as big. You see that big protector? In
I saw a
comparison,
big tree. Also, a thing like that, it's probably not limited to just protecting the 5 square feet around it. It probably protects the whole forest. Right, Miso?
I don't know. Mizo always thought it just protected Mizo.
Mizo, we are going to rest, and then you're going to take us to the orcs, and we're going to have a conversation with them. Who knows? But my friends need a rest, and I'm sure you could rest or whatever you do when you're.
Mizo's not going to do anything unless you ask Mizo to.
Mizo, can we rest?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miso. All right, let's get to it. Set up camp. I'll take first watch.
I'll take
join
first
you.
watch.
Oh, okay. I'll take
Oh, no,
second.
Velkin. No, Velkin, if you want to take first watch.
I'm
that's
just not tired, so it's fine. I just
I'm gonna sleep
Oh.
for ages. I'll take last.
I'm
I'll
going to bed.
I'll take a watch.
Are you
Before he goes to sleep, Isaiah just looks at Ook, pats him on the shoulder, and says, "If the little fucker tries to steal anything, just crush him into the dirt."
God.
God.
Isaiah hates this guy.
Don't fuck with Ook.
So, are you just setting up camp next to the large lagoon here? What's the plan?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Good a spot
Yeah.
as any.
Refill water skins from the waterfall side before it got contaminated with Calder. I mean, with whatever
Fuck
Calder
you.
has.
It's gonna be drinking
His arm powder.
G arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you strong.
Ugh. Ugh.
It's got to be like an ingredient for some kind of potion.
Oh, the spell you can
Oh,
cast with that
Self-loathing
component.
or
Yeah, the ashen arm of a
Potion
Yeah.
of giant weakness.
paladin. Okay,
Yeah.
Low
Okay.
constitution potion.
that is accurate actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's going to take first watch on this day of rest that you guys decided to happen? By the way, if you take a very long rest here, you will be deciding to travel at night. 8 hours. Just as a reminder.
I don't like the way you said it, but it seems like that's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I mean, it kind
I
of is
mean,
what
we're
it is.
headed underground,
Yeah.
so we're not going to see the sun for a while.
True.
Anyway.
Uh,
We'll get our rest when we
Vulcan's got better vision at night than she does in the day.
Well, there's one of you.
I know I
We'll
was
be
listening
fine.
to the episode from last week, and I was like, "Oh, all of y'all are blind as hell at night."
Pretty much.
No.
Okay. Who's taking first watch?
Me and Castus looks like
Perception checks from both of you.
Okay. Oh, that's not
9.
awful. Ooh, mine is 10.
About halfway through your watch, you don't see Mizo anymore. Disappeared.
Of course he did.
He'll be back or you won't.
I'm sure he'll be back. He wants his shinies.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it just depends on if he wants them more than he wants to go see the protector right now.
Some tells me he wants the shinies more. I'm sure the idea of following the protector was kind of what driving him, but the idea of all that shiny stuff is I'm sure it's kind of driving him.
Maybe just keep it down a smidge. We still don't
How's
know
the
what's out here.
arm treating you?
Yeah, I mean, good. Feels normal.
If I look at his arm, can I tell if there's any sort of a break at where the old arm was and the new arm was?
Yeah, I mean, there. It's without even having to make a check or anything. There definitely is. There's like, his dirty, weather-worn skin, and then like a clean, like as if he just bathed, and washed his arm really
Oh.
well, from the elbow down.
Oh, did you lose all your sword calluses and stuff too? It's gonna be a pain.
You do. You have fresh
Oh.
little hands, like little baby hands.
Baby hands.
Oh, baby hands.
Baby hands. Yeah. It's good as new, I guess.
Well, that's good
Kind of
because I didn't want to have to cut off your arm.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have had to worry about it. I got a little ways out into the water and it just sort of turned to ash. So
That's kind of gross.
it was a little disturbing.
Yeah, I could say that. But I must say you have a wonderful ass, top notch there.
Hey, I'm,
Hair, no hair either.
I'm glad you approve, I guess.
Hair, no hair.
Yeah. That's Hardcastle's ass. What that is. Yeah. Something else happened while I was out there, though.
What?
The woman with the silver hair. I saw her again.
Really?
Yeah, before I got to the rock, everything just kind of went dark for a minute, and then I was somewhere else, somewhen else. saw some people I knew. And I saw her. I saw her face, actually, for the first time.
Oh, well, that's new. I haven't seen any of my friends' faces, so maybe she trusts you more.
Maybe. Seems like she's been kind of slowly. I don't know. I don't know if she's trying to ease me into it or what it is, but I've been asking questions and she has been hesitant to answer. Little by little.
That
in due
seems
time.
about right, yeah.
Yeah.
Were the visions you saw, were they as unpleasant as they were last time?
Not in the same way. Not as visceral. More of a reminder, I guess. It was kind of the beginning of my fall.
Oh. Kind of here's where you started and here's where you are.
Yeah, I think so. Like a jumping off point.
Do you think that water, like if anyone goes in there, that will have visions like we did with the other water?
I have no fucking idea, if I'm being honest. You can go take a dip.
You know, I'm very curious. I start to strip on my clothes because I don't want to risk losing my stuff. And I'm gonna head down into the water.
Okay.
I'll just watch your things then.
So what do you do when you get to the water?
I am just gonna basically do what Calder did and just kind of just swim, just kind of go into the water and just kind of just start swimming to the other side where that rock was.
Okay. In the middle of the day here, the sun is not as well hidden in the middle of this lagoon as the kind of surrounding area is covered in trees. Feel the water's cool and it feels nice. Looking down at the water is very, very dark blue. You can't see very deep. Almost like looking into blackness. You begin to swim out. The rock, whenever you do make it there, is not really a standing pedestal that held this tree. It's cracked and broken, and large chunks of the stone moved and fell into the water whenever the tree had uprooted. You swim up. Glistering in the sun, you see something very bright. It's very evident as you get closer and closer, as the sun kind of shines down on the broken rock here. Kind of split. Cracks running up alongside the walls. A deep gold core sits in the center of this rock. You can hear something as you kind of swim up to it. Like a tink, 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 tink. Something's hitting the stone on top.
I take a look to see what might be hitting that. Do I have an idea?
You climb up. And your idea is correct. Mizo, there, with his little tip of his spear, chipping away and around the stone. You can see him collecting small little nuggets of gold and shoving them into his pack.
Coming to take shinies then, yes?
You know what? You can have those. I was just checking something. I'll see you. Stay out of trouble, okay? We'll see you later on tonight, okay?
See you later on tonight.
All right. And I'll hop back in the water, but for funsies, I'm gonna as I get about to the center of where it's like seemingly the darkest, deepest, I'm gonna dive down and see how far I can get before I have to turn back for air.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, what is my Constitution? That's pretty good. This is it's 18.
18. You jump off, you dive headfirst into the water. You begin to swim deeper and deeper, deeper into the dark, kicking your legs as furiously as you can. You swim about a good 30 feet before something catches your eye. Give me a perception check.
Okay, come on. Okay, you do it. Ooh, that's good. 16.
You catch a faint glimmer in the darkness. Just like almost like a shine as the water moves as you're swimming through the silt. But I need one more Constitution saving throw from you. As you begin your lungs, you can feel them beginning to tighten up.
Okay, that is 16.
You think you can hold your breath for a little bit longer if you would like to continue on.
I want to go. I want it. I want to see what this is.
You swim down. Then you kind of float there. As in front of you, you see a massive face made of pure gold. A long beard flowing down onto a chest. It's a dwarf, but the statue itself probably once stood 50 or 60 feet in height. You can see it just continues to go on and on. You were nothing but a small little speck when you kind of approach this thing's face, and through the darkness, it comes upon you quite quickly, as it's just like this nose and the mouth and the massive beard just kind of enter your vision. And as you begin to swim around it, you notice that this thing goes deeper.
Okay. Cool.
You can tell it kind of sits at an angle. It's not just straight up and down, so it seems like it had fallen some sort.
He makes note to tell Isaiah about it because I'm sure he'd get a kick out of it. But then he heads up. Kessis heads up to the water, up to the surface, and heads to the shore to dry off and get his clothes back.
Constitution saving throw.
Okay, don't drown, don't drown.
Did I see him dive, by the way?
You can give me a perception check.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
Okay.
5.
Oh, well.
You didn't. You're too distracted by the sun. You're kind of looking at your new arm. Remembering
So
the vision
shiny.
you just had. Cassis, you feel your lungs finally begin to burn. You know it's time to go. You kick up with all of your might and you begin to swim. Takes you a good 3, 4, 5 minutes before you burst from the surface.
Okay, I'll head to shore. Sit there for about a minute to catch my breath, and then climb on up to rejoin Calder.
Calder, you see Cassis emerge. Something curious about him, though. Way more evident on him than it is you. In his hair, it's glistening. Little golden specks. All through his hair, all over his arms, his face.
I'll divine sense. Does it feel stronger than last time?
Celestial fiend and undead. You don't get any sense other than his normal.
The usual celestial?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it was stronger than before, maybe.
Oof, that is some good water. Oof, I needed that.
Yeah, you got a certain glow about you.
I'm sorry. Can I just ask a question? With divine sense, are you also able to sense if it's sacred or desecrated ground?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
You would know. But it is not where you currently stand. Or within 30 to 60 feet. I can't remember the exact range of divine sense.
60 feet.
You cannot tell.
Your
Well-
things are safe.
I appreciate it. Yeah, Mizo's currently mining at the moment, so he's busy.
Grow any new
But-
words while you're out there?
I kind of look at myself. No, I think everything's as they should. Maybe a little cold water. So
See a little
there's
head
that. But-
poking out of the armpit.
Oh, hello.
Did you ever watch Hellboy 2? Whenever he goes down to like that monster underworld, he meets that one guy he thinks is a baby, but it's just a tumor. on the growing on the guy's chest.
The fuck?
Oh,
Oh, come on, Hellboy
Nope.
2. That's a classic movie.
but yeah, no fun visions for me, unfortunately. There
Yeah, you
is
tried.
an enormous golden statue that I think Ezzy is going to get a kick out of if we ever come back this way. But
More remnants of the dwarves, I assume.
very much, yeah. But yeah, that other than that, refreshing, I have to say.
Very good.
I will get dressed.
Anything else you two would like to do?
I think I'm good.
I think
Okay. Who's taking the second watch? Velkin. By yourself. Perfect.
Look.
What do you do on your watch, Falcon? Give me a perception check, actually.
Okay. I do. 10 on the die. I have a plus. 14.
14. Pretty evident, because you've seen it before. There's a large hawk in the sky.
Ah.
Coasting over.
Blast it.
lagoon.
Let's just go
And
look
then you
around.
see it
Oh, yeah.
land on that center rock where Calder had placed his hand. But then you lose sight of it.
Like, does it like go like behind the rock or
Yeah,
like...
you can't quite see it from this side. It seems like it either went down in it or like on the other side, or you're just not able to see it from this far. You are probably a good 200-300 feet out, maybe even farther. It is quite the size, a very large lagoon. So
kind of like looking at the water, looking where the bird disappeared, looking back at the water. Do I want to get my hair wet? Clean up. Mhm. And she's going to kind of open her bag and pull Yorins out of her bag. Go look. Going to send him over.
okay, you can get him about 100 feet away from you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a perception check with urines.
17 on the die. I think he is proficient. Yeah, he has a 5.
Okay. 22. 22's, as you kind of sit there and view through your cat's eyes as it soars over this lagoon, you can barely see something. Mizo swatting at this creature with his spear, and it's seeming to get up on its legs and flies, and looks like it attempts to claw at him. You see him swat at it with his spear, and it goes tumbling over, and then you just see it. It soars back up higher and higher.
How far away is it now?
It continues to go up, so it's probably from Yorins another 100 to 200 feet.
Okay.
Because it begins to soar away from the rock and higher.
Okay, so it's way out of Velkin's range.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's gonna kind of keep an eye on it and see if it comes within 120 feet of her.
Okay. As you just keep an eye on it, it does eventually begin to circle over the sort of the center of the lagoon before you see it descend on the opposite bank into the trees and disappear.
It doesn't come within the 120 feet when it dives?
No, it does not. It goes on the opposite side.
Okay. She just kind of crinkles her nose and then pulls out the spellbook she got off the drow maid. That's not her. And starts kind of skimming through it. Studying some of the spells.
Okay.
Looking around at the party members to see who might have 50 gold on them. She could take from.
Ooh. Who do you think's the most rich?
Oh,
Or who do you think that you would think has 50 gold on them? As all
Redrick.
of them slept.
Fair.
Okay. So I want you to give me 2 checks. First is an investigation check, then a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Whichever one you would like to roll first, you tell me.
Okay.
Actually,
so-
roll the investigation first.
Okay. 15. 15 plus 8.
Okay.
And then sleight of hand. Ooh. Okay. 19 plus 4.
Just roll me a perception check. This is going to be a little bit less about the passive perception, but more if you can just have a sense that someone or something is touching. you.
Okay. Straight
So you can beat a
perception
23.
check. I mean, probably not. Except I got a nat 20.
Oh,
24.
24.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So,
Interesting.
here's what happens.
Oh wait, can I do something?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Well,
gonna
here's the
reroll.
thing. Well, what would you like to do?
I would like to chronal shift
Okay.
when she sees
So
him
here's
starting
what
to wake
happens.
up.
He
Yo.
stirs for a moment, and
Okay.
it begins to like shake his head, and then you cast the spell. Is it instantaneous?
I believe so. Here, I'll post it.
It's probably a reaction.
Yeah.
I'd guess based on how that spell works.
Yeah, it's a reaction.
Easy enough. So go ahead and re-roll the die.
So do I reroll or does she?
I think she can make anybody re-roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
you,
gotcha.
you reroll. Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, well. 16 for 20.
Ooh. So
Elkin, naughty.
you see Redrick stir, and for a moment he's about to like almost give you the what the, and you cast Chronal Shift. He kind of pauses for a moment, almost as if time kind of rewinds for a moment, and he falls back asleep. And this time you just snatch the bag right off of him.
Okay. She's gonna open and see how much gold's in it.
So
You wanna count it all?
I have a couple hidden in like boots and like different pouches scattered about, but if you want to know if you want to know how much I have on me right
It depends
now.
on how much. Do you want to just grab the 50, or do you want to take the time to count the gold?
She just reaches her hand in and takes a handful of gold, however many that might be.
Okay. Does she
Alright.
get 50 gold?
Yeah. At
Okay.
least.
Let's say you get 50 gold.
Fuck yeah.
10
okay.
silver, 3 copper.
Uh,
Just Redrick, just a little bit more.
Yeah, right.
and then she ties it back up and puts it exactly where she found it. And then goes back to reading like nothing happened.
So you take the money or not?
Yeah.
You do. Okay. Perfect.
And then
You
goes-
go back to reading.
Like nothing happened. Just gonna blame Mizo if Redrick sees anything.
And eventually, Mizo does approach you during your watch. Almost as soon as you go and sit back and begin to read your book, you see him kind of climb up. He's carrying this sack that's
Oh.
kind of dragging on the ground, and he huffs it next to you. You can just hear the rattle and clanking of something inside of it.
Is this for me?
Not for you. These are Mizo shinies. Stay away.
But you just put them beside me.
And then put it beside you, and he
Moves it next to him.
Or did you did the hawk almost take it from you?
Yeah, look.
You can see that he has scrapes all over his arms.
No idea where that thing came from. Attacked Mizo from the sky.
Velkin will wave him over. Come here. I won't touch your shinies. Don't worry. Just come here for a sec.
Mizo don't trust dark ones like you.
Well, do I look like them?
He sniffs.
No, but you smell like one.
Oh, I probably smell better. I'm taking offense to that comment. But here.
Moldy. Like
Oh.
old mushrooms.
She is going to kind of glare at him for a second before reaching in her bag and pulling out like a roll of bandages. Do you want me to wrap up your arm or not?
Mizo.
Give it to you?
Yes.
Okay, she's gonna throw it at him.
It begins to roll away from him, almost over the cliff before he scampers over and grabs it. You see him just begin to look at you the whole time as he begins to ties it up tightly,
You're welcome.
cuts it off, and throws the rest of you.
So, you didn't run away. Thought maybe you had.
Mizo usually good about deals.
Hmm.
Plus, stupid redhead one. He has Mizo shiny.
Oh yes, the gem, correct? Yeah. Where did you find that?
Deep underground, underneath Dwarven City. In a massive cavern. Mizo only had time to grab one. I know you were sleeping when Mizo said this before. Didn't really pay attention to conversation, but I guess I'll tell you again. Something very, very scary moved in the dark. Mizo only grabbed his gem. Ran fast as Mizo could. Tried to get out of Golden Gate. Doors are locked. Locked, I say. Mizo was in there for years, months, days. Pounding on door before Orxys opened. Then, Orxys almost killed Mizo. Then, Protector come save Mizo. Take Mizo here. Protector go on rock. Stay there for years. Never moves. Now Mizo here.
Doesn't your kind only live a few years?
I don't know. Mizo seemed like he was living for many years.
Did I make a history check or something?
For what? To see how long
recall
a
how
kobold?
long? Yeah, to recall how long a kobold lives.
I would say that's probably more of a nature check.
Okay. Oh, that's only a 10.
Pretty sure, but maybe you read the wrong thing.
Okay. Well, quite lucky that you had the protector, and the stupid red-haired one is also quite lucky we had the protector.
Technically, Red One owes Mizo his life.
Yes, he does. Are you going to do anything about that?
Leave him in dark. Then, Mizo gets as many shinies as that Red One carries anyway, so win-win.
Okay. So you're just in it for the shinies then?
Mizo's always in it for the shinies.
So I know quite many people just like you. Yes.
You know more Mizos. Someone else was saying they know many, many Mizos. Mizo only knows one Mizo.
Maybe they don't look just like you, but same kind of ideal. Things that motivate them.
Mizo's tummy motivates Mizo. Same with shiny things.
Seems like you have something in common with some of the party members. Alright, well, I'm going to continue reading, okay?
Sniffs over at you while you're reading.
What? If you're gonna tell me I smell like a mushroom again, you better leave.
Smells worse. Maybe it was book I smelled.
So?
That one.
Well, that makes me feel a bit better, because it actually wasn't my book. I stole it. Well, no, not really stole. We killed the person, Ren killed him, and then I took the book.
Almost like Mizo.
Yeah!
Maybe Mizo has much in common with you, Dark One.
There we go, yes. Something to bond over. You know, if we find any shinies on anything else that we kill, I will try and get you something. How's that sound?
What Mizo had to do for you? Stupid other girl always wants something from Mizo. Very mean.
She points to Ren, that one? Yeah, she does ask a lot, doesn't she? Yeah.
Mizo don't know how you stand her.
Yeah. she has her uses, you know. And as for something to, what do I want? Turn. Ooh. How about I'll think on it and let you know.
Well, if Mizo isn't supposed to live very long, I don't know how long Mizo has left.
Well, you've lived this long, you know.
True. Mizo has lived this long.
Yes, I'll think of something. Sure I will. And I'll keep my promise. Don't break that.
Mizo never break promise in Mizo's life.
No, means you're loyal.
You're different than most darky ones. Most dark ones vicious. Kill many Mizo's peoples long times ago. Kill many Orcsies.
Me? Kill? Never. Never.
Mizo know that Mizo do not believe you.
I don't believe me either. But the point is, I am not like my people. That is true. I haven't lived with them in a while.
You really are like Mizo.
Haven't lived with your people in a while either.
Long time Mizo people been gone. Long time.
You lonely?
No. Mizo do Mizo thing. Mizo always been sort of lone Mizo.
That's fair. That probably makes it easier, right? Not being lonely.
No have to share no shinies.
Good point. Well, I wish I was the same. I wish I could say this. Alas, here we are.
Well, if you want Mizo to be companion, we leave other girl in dark. And Mizo joins you.
That sounds like an excellent idea. And Vulcan's gonna hold out her hand.
Mizo and Dark One have deal. Maybe Mizo save one shiny for you.
Oh, thank you.
Only one.
You can have her shiny. Points to Ren.
We take them before we leave her, yes?
Yes.
Very good.
Vulcan's then gonna dig in her bag and pull out a ration and split half with Mizo.
You see him.
Then she just probably goes back to reading.
Yeah. Mizo probably just sits next to you the entire time. Draws a couple things in the dirt with just the tip of his spear. Nothing in particular, but just scratches and drawings until time passes. Probably complains to you a little bit about how bored he is and he wishes that he was continuing on to the Orcsies.
Yeah. She sympathizes and says, yeah, the fact that the whole party needed to sleep was pretty annoying. And then eventually...
by the way, I tried to warn Podgy earlier. Traveling in dark might not be beneficial. Orcsies seem to only come out in sun, disappear at nighttime.
They probably are going to bed, correct? So wouldn't it be safe for us to travel at night?
But I thought you wanted to talk to Orcsies. You won't find Orcsies at night.
A good point. I mean, I'll mention it to them whether they listen to me on.
Okay, Mizo's gonna go for a walk now. Bye.
Bye.
You just see him get up, and just jaunt off into the forest.
Yeah, Vulcan watches them go for a bit and then goes back to reading, and then eventually once Watch is up, we'll go over and nudge Ren with her boot, or with her heel.
I'm up. Okay.
Good morning.
The bright sun shining in your face. Probably getting closer to evening now.
Sleep well?
Yeah, it's different sleeping during the day, but I needed it.
That's good. Mizo is... She just kind of gestures off into the woods. Somewhere.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Anything I should know?
Saw the hawk again.
That
Disappeared that
thing.
direction. It was too
Okay.
far out of my reach. I was the only one awake. I didn't want to wander too far off.
Yeah. No, of course. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Okay. Who do you want up? I'll wake them up.
Oh, I don't know. Who hasn't taken a watch yet? I haven't been paying attention. Who wasn't exhausted? Whoever wants to take watch, Redrick. That's
Okay, she'll
Guess
she'll
it's
go
me.
over and nudge Redrick. Wake up.
I'm up.
I didn't think you woke up once before. Maybe it was just a dream.
Well, good night. Then Velkin's gonna go sit down somewhere and
Night. It's weird. I feel real light on my feet. I don't know.
what do you mean?
I don't know. Just feel a bit lighter after that rest. Maybe I was just tired. I don't know.
I'm happy for you.
Us little LBSs, man.
Yeah.
Good sleep. Anything that you guys would like to do on your rest? Actually, give me a perception check, both of you.
Sure. I don't know why I'm checking my character sheet like I don't use perception every 3 minutes. 14.
13.
Anything specific? Who wasn't exhausted, by the way?
Me.
The rest of you probably begin to stir. The ones that were exhausted. Isaiah and Calder probably sleep heavily. Just being tired overall. The rest of you begin to get up. Cassis, you were good with just a little bit of a restful nap. Eggball, same. You eventually get up.
Is it time for my watch?
I don't think you're gonna need to take one. I think once the others get up, we'll get moving.
Okay. I'm not really that tired anymore. I've never really slept during the day.
Yeah, me neither. But I slept really hard this morning, so I feel good now.
You clearly have not been to enough taverns in Arabar then. Nice.
I've never been to
Sleep through the
Erebor.
day. Well, that's fair. Sleeping late into the day isn't exactly a new thing.
You don't know sleeping until you slept in a junkyard, let me tell you.
What's a junkyard?
It's not a place you normally sleep.
Sounds like a bad place to sleep.
Not the best, but sometimes it's just a place where you gotta find yourself.
Any sign of Misa?
Perception check. Give me a new one.
A 16.
Nope.
No, like, I know you weren't planning on getting up early, but could be a good opportunity to make some breakfast.
It's a dinner, breakfast for dinner.
I was gonna say, don't you need more of dinner?
Dinner for breakfast, or...
Did we
Breakfast
agree
for
it's okay to make a fire?
Hmm?
Did we
Oh.
agree it'd be okay to make a fire?
At nighttime, probably not, but in the middle of the day, I mean... who's gonna
Yeah,
see
I
it
think that's
it's
anyway?
probably fine right now.
Okay. I guess
mean,
I'll go.
oh.
Hmm?
Velkin said that hawk was here, so if somebody's watching us, they already know where we're at, so no reason not to have hot food.
But then, do you think smoke would be easier for them to find us?
They already know where we're at if the hawk knows where we're at, so. It's the
Go ahead.
daytime egg. I'm sure it's fine.
Were you gonna say something, Bucker?
Yeah, is Velkin awake? You said everybody started to stir. I had to run upstairs.
Sure. I mean, you probably didn't. You weren't really exhausted at all, so you probably just took your 4 hour meditation before your watch, and then probably just studying.
Okay. Velkin will pipe up. She's just been reading. She says, Mizo made a good point to me on my watch. We might have trouble finding the orcs at night. Not nocturnal. Just a
We can get
point
in the
to...
general area and then find them in the morning.
Okay, just wanted to bring it up.
I mean, yeah, we get there when we get there. I mean, sleeping now or later, it's not really gonna make a difference.
We're looking for a giant golden door. I think if they're not even there, we should still be able to find a golden doorway, I would think.
Probably.
Just keep in mind if they find us in their territory. I mean, they're probably not going to be happy to see us away. Surprise them when we're not meaning to. A bigger argument than we're anticipating.
Well, in ignorance, that's the best thing we can do.
So,
I guess I'm
Wake
making a
up
fire.
wake up these two, or let them sleep a little longer.
Let them sleep.
Let me make food first, and then if they don't wake up from smell of food, then
Yeah.
so I guess I'm gonna go off and gather wood and shit to start a fire.
What are you gonna cook?
Good.
Ha! Well, we've got water and we've got. So I guess I'm making a gold leaf stew at this point. Just whatever. What is it? Adding in maybe like a chili pepper or something, just for something a little extra.
So tea. You're making hot tea.
Yep. Hot ration chili pepper tea. Exactly.
Oh boy.
I don't really got much else out here. There's no, game, wildlife, anything like that. That's the best thing I can think of at the moment.
Did Mizo
Okay.
leave his like sack of gold just like lying there?
Yeah.
Interesting choice on his part. And anyone know what that's about? Just kind of like ask to the group.
I
Kinda,
saw
like, kick it
him
open.
come down in the water, picking at some gold. That's probably it.
that's it. Yeah, he brought it over.
Well, don't mind if I do. I'm just gonna like
Uh,
in full vision, everyone just like take a couple pieces. And
No,
just...
Vilkin's gonna smack your hands and be like, that's not yours!
Fucking rich.
Derek. I don't care.
But
It's mine now.
I can't say I didn't try at least.
As long as he doesn't take it all, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, he won't even notice.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't even notice.
Velkin, you notice something as Redrick's putting the golden rocks in his satchel. His hands are turning gold. Smears of it kind of getting all over him.
Redrick,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to know you touched the gold.
All right, let him know.
Okay.
How many chunks do you take?
How many are there?
I mean, it is a sack full.
5 or 6. I don't know if they're like big chunks.
They are.
Perfect. Now that I know they're smearing gold everywhere, I'll try and put them in like a separate little bag from everything else. But
Okay.
just keep things clean.
Okay.
All right.
Eventually, Mizo returns. As you all are beginning to stir. You see him jaunter back in, spear in hand, as he's twirling it.
Are we all awake yet? Mizo's getting bored.
I think you just woke up the rest of them.
You see him walk over to the his bag of gold.
Which the?
And he looks at you real intently.
Dummy. Mizo got you, and you don't even know. Look at your hands.
Oh, I know. What are you gonna do about it?
Take rocks out of sack, dummy.
And
You take the rocks out of the sack.
yeah, I'll show it to him.
They're just rocks, smeared with what looks like golden paint.
What? Alright. Whatever. I'm just confused. If you knew they were rocks.
Real ones at bottom. You took top ones. Mizo knew one of you dummies would try to steal from Mizo. Mizo never messes around with Mizo's shinies. Be smarter next time.
Noted. Take from the bottom next time. Gotcha. I'll just dump the rocks out.
It's like a smear of like wet gold in the sack now.
Good thing I put them in a separate sack.
Just like one last piece of jerky in there, just covered in gold.
No, not the jerky.
Not the elk.
Calder sits up and stretches and looks at the fire. Oh, that better be bacon.
Maybe?
No, it's not.
Mizo comes
damn
running
it.
up.
What is that?
It's the best I could make with what I have.
Looks
It's
like something
spicy,
came
though.
out of Mizo one day when he ate bad mushroom.
That's not very nice to say. It might not look the best, but I hope it tastes good. Just kind of get a taste. I hope
Tastes
it
like
tastes good.
watered down chili pepper.
Oh,
I hope it tastes good.
Oh, well, Mizo ain't eating any of that.
Pull a ration out of my pack.
Hide it from
What's in
Ed,
there?
though.
That's what's in here. I don't really have many options. There's gold in it too, though. That's kind of the bonus.
Fancy.
Nice.
Do better next time.
I usually do, but there's no animals around.
You know, you're right.
Is
Mizo
there
hasn't
room?
seen any fresh little birdies. Long time.
Is that normal or is that weird for this forest?
Not that Mizo thinking about it. That's weird.
When did you first
No.
notice it?
Right now.
But how long has it been going on, would you say?
Mizo just noticed it right now, dummy girl. How is Mizo supposed to know how long it's been going on if Mizo just recognized it right now?
Oh my god.
Okay, Mizo. All right.
So when was last time you can remember of eating little birdie?
Time Mizo snapped neck a squirrel was 5 days ago.
Right. So this
So
place is
recent.
not immune.
Hmm.
Good to
What,
know.
what does that mean?
The people we came here to stop, they did something that did that.
What?
Killed the wildlife, drove it away, whatever made it not here. I'm
They
gonna
can
go.
make squirrelsies disappear. Them very powerful peoples.
Yeah. I'm gonna wake up Isaiah.
And get rid of that damn hawk, though.
How you feeling?
Yeah, fuck Mizo up.
She has a bandage.
Everything's better after sleeping. We ready to go yet?
I'm
Yeah,
going,
I hope
old
so.
man. We're ready to go. We've been ready to go. We got diarrhea soup in pot if you want some.
I still owe you a death, Miso. I wouldn't
It's
push
the-
it this early.
It's the best I could make. I'm sorry.
Vulcan's gonna go over to the soup or the tea and dip like a cup in or two and walk over. Hold it up. Say, do you like coffee?
Coffee, yes, whatever that is. Huh.
She puts her hand over it. You see a little flash of light for a second, and then she'll hold it up. Try. Just gets past the texture.
I'll take it and try a sip.
Tastes like coffee.
It's a neat trick.
You know, you just got to get past the idea of actually drinking vomit water. No offense, I. That's what it-
So it's not the comment, but what you did, you're just getting a death glare right now. He's just staring you down, and he's staring not at you, but more specifically the cup that you gave, that you put magic on.
Do you want some coffee egg?
I don't like what you did. Don't do it again.
She's
It's
putting
fake.
her-
It's not okay.
She's putting her
Not
hand
all
over
right
her
to
own.
do it.
It's just making it taste different.
Taste is most important thing.
I
Messing
agree.
with taste messes with food. I know it's bad, but don't do that to my food again.
She'll go put it back in the pot, pull out her water skin, pour her water, and make it taste like coffee. All while looking at her. There,
That
what's
works for
yours?
me, thank you. Does anyone else want anything? Does anyone else want to have some? I mean, I used a few
No,
rations, right? So
I think we should get going.
Yeah, we really gotta get on the
We
move.
should get going.
This is-
sounds good. All right.
There's a lot happening. Let's go.
I'm soup diarrhea water out, big baby man. Then we go.
I can pour it on you if you want.
Probably make Mizo smell better.
Oh, please, God, let's just go.
God.
Let's
I
let's-
really want to. And I really want to.
So you guys
Come
pack
on.
your things.
Come on.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, move on.
Standing in awkward silence, Mizo doesn't move. Prepares to be drenched in coffee diarrhea soup.
He does
He's
get
not
a
gonna dump
bit
it on you,
spicy.
so let's get on the move.
It's going to be dark within an hour. Follow Mizo. You don't want to get lost. End of Golden Road comes soon.
So can
Alright.
you see in the dark?
Better than most other Mizos.
Okay.
Come now.
Lead the
You
way.
begin to follow Mizo through the oasis-like forest here, back into the heavy, low-hanging branches of the fir trees. The needles kind of brushing against your skin. As you follow along the Golden Road, kind of disappears beneath your feet. As the brick gets farther and farther apart, more and more sparse, till it almost disappears completely. The middle of the forest. It's kind of odd. Darkness consumes all of you once again. Go ahead.
Sorry, as we're walking, I'm gonna kind of pull Isaiah to the side a little bit. You got a second?
Always. What do you need?
Yeah. More about what you might need. You okay?
Yeah. Little sleep fixed up a lot of things.
Or, I mean, even after the sleep, though. Pardon if I might be overstepping, but you seem a bit more aggressive than I've seen, at least. You seem, I don't know, dead set on killing Mizo. What's going on with that?
Oh, I made him a promise. I told him if he didn't leave, he would die.
He's helping us, though.
Yep. That's why he's still alive.
Okay. You don't plan on killing him, do you?
Eventually.
Why? I mean, if
Because I told
you
him
know,
I would. If you don't follow through on your word, it means nothing.
I agree with you to a point, but we did come to an agreement with him. If he helps us and sticks to that, I don't think killing him is justifiable, Isaiah.
There's a lot of reasons not to kill people. Most of the reasons actually are not to kill people. I'm also still waiting for him to leave us alone in the dark with whatever this thing is that scared him so bad he got nothing of his shinies. He might be helping us, but he's not good because he's helping us. He's not helping us because it's right or anything like that. He's helping us because he wants what we have. And he knows he's leading us into more and more dangerous situations. And he's just gonna pick the bones whenever we go down.
Maybe. But we know what we're going into. It's not like we're following blindly. It's not leading us into a trap we aren't already aware is there. If he
Hopefully.
doesn't raise a hand or actively try to get us killed again. Listen, the line between right and wrong is a very fucking shaky one. I'll grant you that. But that don't feel right to me.
I know.
Okay. All right. Just think it through. And I'll
I haven't done much else but think for a long time.
Anything else? As you all travel deep into the night in the forest here in the middle of a great rift. It's probably seen better days. Travel deep within the forest. Glad that Mizo's your guide. As you begin to all realize you have no idea where you're going. If you were traveling alone, it would be quite the effort to even get through this forest, or even pick a direction, as every one of these fir trees begin to look the same. All around you. You feel like you've been going on circles for hours. But you follow Mizo, whether you trust him or not, to get you to your destination. All of a sudden, you all kind of get this sense that you're walking in a downward direction. You feel the terrain beneath your feet, the slope. Almost to the point, as you continue on, some of you have to hesitate as you walk. Be careful, as the dirt slides beneath your feet. Cracked earth, that is the dirt here at the Great Rift. There's no real purchase. The ground is not soft or easy to walk on, so as it begins to slope, kind of get a little bit dangerous if you don't take your time. You also notice one other thing. The trees around you all begin to dissipate, meaning it's getting less and less dense as you continue on. Even though that odd darkness still hangs above all of you, some of you igniting light sources, I'm assuming, as you had once done before, that the light's still not resonating as it should as you continue down through this forest. Mizo turns to all of you eventually and says in a whisper,
We are getting close. Be very quiet. We do not want to disturb Orxies, even if they are here.
A little bit harder for some of us than others. Is there a way around?
We go into Deep Valley. Large funnel leads to Great Golden Gate. At the very bottom. We could go around. Would require much climbing to get to the bottom. Up to you.
Would that take a lot longer?
More dangerous. Long climb. Miso could do it.
We don't
But one
really
with high heels probably couldn't.
we don't really get along with cliffs too well from past experience.
Well, that was a bit of a situation.
I think the direct routes were the best.
Yeah, plus if these orcs are doing what we think they're doing down there, we might just want a conversation with them even if they catch us.
Yep.
We can always try. Sneaking?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little slower, we will now. Stick close to Miso. I will show you the rift within inside the rift. Very interesting. Miso never seen anything like it before. Follow Miso.
And begins to trudge on. Farther and farther down, you descend this hill till you can see a break in the tree line. It's as if the ground you're walking out on begins to level out. And you all step out. In front of you, you stand now on the edge of a large cliffside. Inside the rift itself, you look down into a great ravine. It almost looks like a major river had once run through it. As it funnels down, it gets thinner and thinner till it opens up again into the side of one of the walls of the Great Rift. You can even see within the moonlight above something glistening brightly, shining of gold. About a mile or so off, maybe a little bit farther, along the side of this wall. Vulcan, Redrick, and Ren, go ahead and make me perception checks. Disadvantage for the ones that do not have dark vision.
That wasn't that one.
13 for me, but the disadvantage lost me a nat 20.
Damn.
We'll count it. Good job, my
Nah.
friend.
Yeah,
You win.
thank you. I needed that.
16.
What was it?
16.
With a 16, you're the only one that notices that this entire wall of the Great Rift is lined with large statues. Human-like beings. You can't really see from this distance or make out any details, but they stand straight. From this distance, they're probably 50 to 60 feet in height.
Doesn't
Lined
recognize
up,
them?
one by one. See a total of 5.
And there's no recognition.
Not from this distance.
See Vulcan squint a bit. Browse for further in confusion.
The rest of you see little pucks of fire on the tops of the side of the walls of this valley that you see funneling. Kind of spread out closer to the wall of the rift.
Hey, Mizo,
Hmm?
do you know what those statues are of?
Large golden dwarvies.
And they just for show?
That's what Golden Gate is. Miso think they were some sort of important dwarvies to the dwarvies that lived here. But we get in there. Miso can lead you to the Black Gate.
The fires, are those the orcs?
What does he calls this valley home?
What happens if we get to the gate and it's shut?
Only orcs let us in then.
Not
Tell you
like
to special way to open it? Or keep it closed?
Mizo don't know. Like Mizo said last time Mizo was here, door was already open.
Is it like huge, or could a person open it by themselves?
Massive.
Massive.
He begins to look up at the wall of the rift.
Oh,
So, do you mean massive as in for you or massive for an Orcsies?
Would we be able to open it?
It's hard to tell. Very, very large door. The way you look without armor. Mizo don't think so.
On the bright side, if it's dwarven make, it might still be functioning well. Hinges can take a lot of the weight off. Or there might be some mechanism. Dwarves
Yeah.
have always been creative.
if it's dwarven made, then it stands to reason dwarves could open it. So if they could, then we could.
Wait,
They
what do
didn't
you
want
mean?
anyone opening it.
Yeah.
What do you mean by mechanism? It's just a door.
Unless they built something that opened it from the inside. If you use the right gearing, maybe some pulleys, you could have one person open a giant's worth of door.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
interesting.
But we'll never know until we get down there. So
Right. What's the
apparently
way
we're going
forward
quiet.
then, Mizo?
Mizo only know one path down. Follow Mizo.
Okay.
Are we sure we don't want to wait till daylight?
Well, then won't Orcsies be awake? Aren't they
Mizo
probably?
Mizo Eggies. I didn't know what plan was.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's settle that. Do we want to actually talk to them, or do we want to try and sneak past?
Historically, I've not been good at sneaking. But
I don't see all of us being able to actually sneak past all of them.
I mean, maybe talking's a better option.
Mizo,
And then if
what,
it doesn't work, then maybe we sneak.
Mizo, why did they get angry at you last time? Did they say why, or did they just attack?
Mizo tells you this. Orcsies no talk. Orcsies snatch Mizo. Tried to kill him. Mizo quit though. Mizo thinks it's because he went inside Golden Doors. Without Orcsies' permission.
have you ever, though, talked to the orcs?
Mizo tried. Mizo screamed at Orcsies to let Mizo go. Mistake! Mistake, I said! Mizo no try to interfere in Orcsy business! They never answered.
Can I just do an insight check on that to see if, he's being truthful, hold anything back, that type of thing?
Sure.
Okay. Since it's Mizo, I'll use my, since it's Mizo, I'll use my little ducky tie. Hey,
Mizo ain't a duck, eh?
Yeah, I don't see the connection. Gotta say.
it's small. That's all I got. Insight.
Makes sense.
That's a 20 total.
20 total. Everyone would like to deafen.
Oh,
Whoa.
alright.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
We don't know how to
everyone-
deafen in Discord. Except for Gordon.
Uh,
Gordon, you're good.
I
Just
can't-
take
yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just take my headphones off. I can't hear.
He's telling the truth,
Hmm.
but it's hard to tell. He seems to be holding something back. Seems nervous. Almost as if he's not telling you everything.
Okay. Interessante.
There's a lie behind the truth that he tells. It's the best thing I can say.
Cool.
You're good.
Cool.
Ye-
Have you ever heard the orcs say anything?
Never.
Not one word. Didn't do anything. Didn't. You sure you didn't instigate? I feel like there's
What you
something.
saying, big baby man?
I'm saying I think that there's still something you're not saying yet.
Mizo no lie. Oxys never spoke to Mizo.
Maybe not spoke, but there's still something there.
All right, so we're gonna try diplomacy.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So I do want to just kind of like, if we're gonna have like a little stare down. I do just kind of like want to stare down and like furrow my brow and just kind of like snarl.
It's not that important, big man. They speak with signs, hands. They talk to each other without voices. Symbology. Do this a lot. Mizo don't know.
Hmm.
Don't know if
My
diplomacy
grandson.
is an option then.
Well, we could always rely on our friendly local witch.
Oh, yeah.
That is
I
an
can,
option.
I can talk to anyone if they're willing.
Does Vulcan know any signs?
Signs?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to tell. Give me a history check.
I'm a source. 12 on the. It's a 8.
18. So, interesting thing about Drow. Whenever they do their raiding parties, especially in the Underdark, voices can sometimes be a very bad thing. You know of Drow raiding parties using hand signals to be able to communicate with one another. Thieves' Cant is always another form of this. That's the two that you know. The Drow themselves have sort of formed their own language of form of sign language. Whether the orcs use the same form, it's unclear, but
It's
Was Miso doing like a specific sign?
he's
Or was he just
flashing his
gesturing?
hands. Yeah, because he
Okay.
he has no idea.
I know sign language. But whether that is the same or not, I'm not sure. The other thing is, if we can get them to write, I can read and he writes.
I also can. I mean, I can choose one person, but if I pick that person, then they can understand me and anybody else, and then they could also communicate and should be able to understand.
We've got lots of options.
And if we
Between
try
us.
to sneak, we'll probably. I mean,
Fizz them off.
well, yeah, but I was also gonna say some of us need light and make a decent amount of noise. It's probably better to at least try talking first.
Yeah. All right, let's have a rest here then, and we'll move in the morning.
Sounds
Agreed.
good.
Should only be a few hours before sunrises. We've been traveling for some time. Forest gets a little confusing.
Looking up, do we see any sign of the hawk?
Perception check.
20, dirty 20.
You don't.
I don't see the bird. I wonder.
Oh. Let's just, I guess, hunker down till morning till we can actually see people, see any orcs moving.
Maybe if we want, start a fire, let them know we're here, and not moving towards them.
Oh, they already know we're here, Mr. Old Man.
Then what good would sneaking have been?
Not Mizo's decision.
I'm gonna make it a little bit easier than you. And he walks off and starts working again.
Miso thinks we could probably go within an hour. If that's okay with all of you. Sun rising. Look.
You can see, just peeking over the rift, the first few signs of rays of light. Just kind of.
Miso used to sit here all the time. Watch that happen.
What changed?
Miso got better things to do. Many shinies.
You used to spend a lot of time in this area.
A lot more green back then.
As
More
far as
trees, or
Many more trees all through this place. Great Dwarven City when first Miso came. Dwarves everywhere. Made this road that we walked on for a long time.
you were here for that, Miso?
Okay, that was a long time ago. Wait, no. The dwarves being here, right?
before the spell plague, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know Velkin was unsure before, but I think she's generally smart enough to know kobolds don't live longer than, like, her people do. And that would put Miso close to her age. That doesn't sound right to her, right?
Miso, do you know how old you are?
Miso got quit counting long time ago.
Oh. What did
Miso
you
never
stop
really
at?
cared.
Who was the president when you were born?
Do you remember 9/11?
We go around for prohibition? Hold on a second.
Miso's people never really count how old Miso's people are. We just go by sun up and sundown every day.
Are there seasons? Like cold?
Used to be in Great Rift. Not for a long time.
You're pretty old, huh, Miso?
He kind of shrugs.
You were really in the gate for years? I'd kind of just thought you were counting wrong, but that's fucking...
Or days. Or months or weeksies. Hard for Miso to tell.
Well, I mean, so I'm assuming there's no sun, right? So I feel like it'd be kind of hard to tell how long it's been down where there's no way to tell. We use sun for time, but there's no way to track time if there's no sun.
Still have a sleep cycle.
True, but sometimes that gets a little wonky. Remember having to hear some raids, or not a raid, but scavengers party that we had who ended up having to go through a little cave system in one of the nearby mountains. They didn't come back for days, but they said it felt longer. When they came out, they thought it was day because they just woke up, but it was middle of the night.
Also, Miso said he doesn't sleep for days at a time, so, could be even longer than we thought. Point is, he's fucking old. No offense.
Unusually old.
Hey, Miso, have you ever tried to be a different shape? Bigger. Wings.
Miso wish every day that Miso was bigger.
But have you ever tried?
Does that mean? No.
Just thought you might have forgotten something. Alright.
Miso's starting to get real nervous around here. We continue on.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good time?
Orcsies already know we're here. They're probably waiting for us.
Before we, but I mean, as long, I just thought of this. Do you know the guy on horseback with the big mask that looks like a dragon's head?
Mizo knows him, yes.
Is he one of the orcs or something else?
One of Orcsies.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's go.
Do you?
With the sun just beginning to rise, peeking its little head over the ridge in the distance, there's a purple and orange glow to the sky as you see Mizo begin to lead you. Little ways off, you have to travel about 1,000 yards or so. So you find this almost a similar little trail that you had used to enter the Great Rift. Mizo takes you down. There is some climbing required, but nothing too difficult that would require any of you to make the check. As the levels of this path begin to drop off, almost like large stairs. About 10 feet, some, between the gap between some of these large stairs. So we had to clamber down, throw the rope down. Just quite an exhausting journey. As all of you finally make it into the beginnings of this valley. You can see as you exit the wall that you guys had once stood on kind of resembles some of the large spires and juts of rock that had emerged in the large field of Hardcastle when the event had happened. But this looks like it is on a way more massive scale, as the wall that you have stood atop of goes on for about a good mile or two. But you can tell that it almost had been lifted out of the ground by something at one point, because the dirt that lines the base of the wall and the rocks kind of jut up on its side as if it was climbing. As if this thing kind of shifted out of the earth and moved itself up long time ago.
Well, are we ready then?
You see
Ready
Mizo
as
kind
we're
of give
gonna be.
an audible gulp.
Now, if Mizo dies here, you can't get in gate. Also, if Mizo dies here, you may get in gate, but you never find Blackgate. Good try, but
He gulps again.
okay.
Lead the way.
You begin to descend into this deep valley. Isaiah, roll me an intelligence check.
Sure. $13.
Advantage. Sorry.
Much better. 22.
With the 22, as you all begin to walk into sort of like this funnel, you notice the walls begin to rise on both the sides once again. The sand begins to change color from that red, broken, cracked earth to more of a golden, whitish sand. And even the dirt underneath your feet begins to sink into the ground like you're walking on a beach. The sand is a little bit more brown and red at this point. It's odd. You can even see at one point that there is a cutoff of where the broken dry earth meets the sand here. You also notice, Isaiah, that along the walls that you walk past and on the ground that you walk on, these deep grooves kind of lining the wall in a similar direction. almost like a large sewer or an aqueduct of some type. Like at one point, a large body of water flowed through this valley in the direction you were heading.
That's Wait. How the hell does that work?
Go ahead.
Something's weird here. Anybody know more about this than me? I do. These rocks look like they came up out of the ground a while back, right? Like the things from Hardcastle, when the second spell plague happened and shit was lifting up.
Yeah, I guess it looks pretty similar. Yeah.
It also kind of looks like a river used to run through here. So somewhere between it lifting up out of the ground and now, there used to be water flowing into this little hole.
Could have just all drained out over time. Now it's done.
Down into the gate where we're headed.
Tunnels
Maybe.
below. I don't know. How that
Wait.
shit works.
You guys got better eyes than I do. Can you tell if it... I don't know. Ren, maybe you could help me on this. Can we look and see if it looks like the aqueduct feature is older than the eruption from below or newer?
I.e., whether it's remnants of where it was running underground, and when it came up, it still looked like there was water running past it, or if that happened after.
I will tell you, just with your initial roll, it looks like it had happened before, right?
Okay.
It looks like it would. This aqueduct, or just the signs of water running it, has been just shown over hundreds and hundreds of years, right?
Oh, even better. Sorry, I was wrong. I was worried they would have a way of flooding us out, but it's older. There's a river underneath it.
gates. Like Isengard.
Exactly. There's a river below us. Miso, did you see any water down there?
It was damp. Mizo never saw no river.
Whatever happened to the river that we were following? When did we lose that?
It eventually led into the large lagoon that you.
And there was nothing from there.
Nope. Not that you know of. Not in the direction that you now head, which is eastward.
It could be connected somehow if this was all underground at one point.
At the very least, it's good to know we won't dehydrate ourselves to death while we're down there.
We hope.
All right. Sorry, I got distracted. We should keep going.
The rest of you, as you begin to walk, and even Isaiah, you notice that the sun itself, oddly, sits right above you. So it kind of shines down into this funnel, like valley that you now walk. And as the coarse sand that you now walk in, almost like you're walking in a desert, you now begin to see large stones. At first it was just sand, but now there seems to be structure. See veins of gold running in some of them. More of them. As the larger rocks kind of standing above you, you can see large, thick veins of gold that run like veins in a human's arm up the side of these rocks.
Okay, then. We have probably hour travel till we get to Orxys. Think about what you're going to say. if anything at all.
I think maybe the truth is the best policy here. Any disagreeing opinions?
No, I'd probably be prepared for them to suddenly start attacking us. This is probably the best thing we can hope for.
Yeah.
But
We can
let's
hope for
not
better
offer
than that.
violence. Remember, hands off weapons. Leave them holstered until they give us reason.
Hands are up.
And just in case, cast is Vilkin, Ren. Here, take these, and I'll hand over little, just bare scraps of what or, they're essentially rings, but he took some of the elk bones and cored them, sliced them down, slipped over your hand. They've got little runes carved in as he casts aid on the three of you.
Ooh.
Your hit point maximum and your current hit points go up by 5 for the next
Jeez.
8 hours.
Who did you give that to? Cassis,
Cast is
Calder,
Vulcan and
oh,
Red.
Vulcan.
Calder doesn't
And-
need it.
True. I didn't know. What he doesn't know is his constitution score was cut in half after going into that water, so
Boy,
Oh, that would bring you down to Isaiah levels of hit points, man.
that would hurt.
So you continue to walk. And as this narrow part that you've been walking along for some time now, the sun now high above you, looking almost as if it was staring at you as you were walking, begins to grow wider and wider. You can see massive statues in the distance. You can tell from this distance that they are dwarves. Some of them carrying a massive pickaxe, 2 on the ends carrying massive, just what looks like battle axe, adorning some sort of armor. They are all gold. 2 flanking him, flanking the 2 on the outside, carrying large pickaxes. And the one in the center, the massive helm that comes up high on his head, like different types of spires. 2 on the side, 1 in the front, and 1 in the back. Holds a massive blacksmithing hammer in one hand, and a small flame in the other. He stares out. Pillars line between the statues, all made of gold. You're still probably a good 600, 700 feet out. Just from this distance, you can tell that these statues are massive. You also begin to see remnants of what looks like pop-up tents. Remnants of small campfires, of bone, and broken rock and wood. Someone has made this either a camping spot every once in a while, or more recent than others. You see some places where stakes for animals or creatures or beings were staked at one point. You can see dried blood kind of running down these sharpened logs that kind of stick in the ground. The skulls of these odd cattle-like beasts, but with these large horns, kind of go back and wrap to a circle, lie around some of these campsites. The interesting thing about them, though, is a lot of these tents, pop-up tents that they seem to be passing at the moment, are tattered, half-constructed. Some lie in utter ruins, buried beneath the sand that you now walk on.
Well, actually, I did want to ask. I guess as we're passing all these tents and cooking areas and such, does it seem like that there was anyone here recently?
Give me a perception check.
Bubkiss. That is And 8 total.
8 total. It's hard to tell.
Mm.
Sands shift beneath your feet as a small breeze kind of brushes past all of you.
Do I also recognize the skulls with the curling horns?
Give me a nature check.
That is a 17 total.
You do. And the only reason you do is because Vulcan had pointed it out before. These were the... Vulcan, you know these to be Roth, but they remind you of the cattle the old man on the bridge here, Mr. Luck, had with him. The large cattle-like creature that it was covered in fur that he rode. That he was carrying his cart.
Weird thought, but you know the weird old guy that we got some stuff off of? Do you think he was here at one point? Because
makes
the
you say that?
skull, well, because the skulls kind of remind me of the animal that he was riding. The one, the weird skulls with the spiral horns.
Whoa,
Bro,
Logan, you said those are from wherever you're from, right? Could have just been orcs hunting them. The drow around here.
they are
True.
from the draw. They're called Row. And my guess that there are tunnels here that lead one into the surrounding area.
I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think, he's here, but, that he was here. Maybe that's how he got his animal row. Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
Wouldn't be surprised. That guy was weird. All sorts of odd.
At this point, Mizo stops all of you. Next to a large rock that probably stands a good 10, 15 feet tall, covered in gold. He kind of puts his back up to it. You can see if Kobold could pale. Mizo looks pale. He looks nervous. He's shaking.
Mizo do as Mizo promised. But Mizo go knows Vada. You speak to Orxies. Mizo meet you at Gatesies.
Are they here?
Oh, they're here. Mizo smells them.
Any ideas on how to get their attention?
I'm sure they will find you.
So you're just telling us to keep walking.
You will see large steppies. Orxies. They make camp on them steppies.
Okay.
Mizo meet you at the gatey door.
You see him turn and quickly clamber up the stone. And you see him climb up the wall and up and over the edge and disappears.
Onward.
All right.
Oh, I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
Anybody else want to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a charge on the amulet.
Damn it.
Just keeping an eye like above us a lot on the walls and everything, just to see if anybody's tries to sneak behind us.
Okay. Any other preparations?
Nope. I'm keeping my pistol hidden underneath my jacket because since it's probably, I don't know if they've ever seen it before. I don't want to risk them being, ooh, what's that? I want that.
Ren, I think you at the front with me. You might have to do the talking.
Okie doke. It's not what I'm used to, but I can do it.
We're all here with you.
You all push on. You can see the sand begins to dissipate beneath your feet a little bit. As large golden bricks. Now, when I say larger, they are on both sides of you, hitting both of the side of the wall. Like as if they were large steps for a massive giant. See a crack runs up the middle between the two large slabs that you now walk upon. And ahead of you, you can see these large stairs, almost like the stairs of a ziggurat, ascend. And above it all stands these massive dwarven statues. Standing 50, 60, 70 feet tall. Isaiah, will you probably be able to judge? And in the distance, let me just backtrack. The the stairs themselves are cracked and broken. And as in the middle, as where the kind of seam between the two stairs would run, as the stairs begin to ascend, you can see these jutting rocks all through as you ascend up the middle of these two stairs. Now kind of surround you, like the spine of the world has emerged from underneath you.
And we see below the like sides of the bricks of the gold.
Right. Not immediately. They seem to be kind of flat and level. I mean, you would have to spend some time to find an edge, like in the
Well, I mean,
crease.
where it cracks and is broken, is there enough
Okay.
that we can see? Basically, seeing if there's obsidian beneath the gold.
I was gonna
Oh,
same
right.
thing.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check. These guys
Good.
kind of slow your travel here.
Can I help him out?
Sure.
Any sign of orc camps on these steps?
1 sec.
19 and 6 is 25.
25. No. Seems underneath of it, you would have to do some work. Even with a 25, you probably have to dig deep to see what would be underneath of it. You kind of do. You spend some time, and it just continues to be gold. Anyway, signs of an orc camp. Looking at the top of the stairs, you can see large teepee-like structures lined at the very top, standing kind of above all of you. You also see something curious. One figure sitting about halfway up the large staircase, which in total is probably 20 to 30 stairs that ascend. Just sitting in a light brownish gray robe with his hood up.
I will. Where you said how close are we to him?
You're still probably about 200 feet away. You just see him.
Okay.
Up there.
As we're like walking closer, I'll like hold my hands out flat, kind of showing that they're empty and a sign of peace. And
I'll
if he's
just-
watching, kind of try to like motion to my mouth to like kind of trying to convey that we want to talk.
I'll just say to Calder, I'm pretty sure I could connect him from here. I could try, or we could wait until we get closer.
Maybe best to wait just a bit until at least they engage in some fashion.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they might take as prying.
Yeah, not everybody reacts well to me talking in their head. We'll save it.
Well, you are a witch.
Yeah. You're old.
Yeah.
So, you now stand at the base of these stairs. About halfway up, you see this man. Probably about 100 feet or so if you guys continue to go closer. What's the plan?
I think we slowly approach.
Has he
Um,
reacted at all?
Nope. You
Okay.
see a man or a woman. It's kind of hard to tell from way below.
Are
He's hood
they
up.
are they moving at all?
They're not.
Hmm.
Sitting cross-legged on one of the stairs. Kind of hunched over. Head down.
Yeah, as we're moving in that direction, I want to look around and see if they're like setting up an ambush or something, like surrounding the
Sure.
area.
Perception check.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Whoa.
You don't see anything else moving. But there's a stillness that makes you feel very uneasy.
Hmm.
It's a general stillness in the air. Sound almost. No wind. The sound of a breeze. Just a still calm. The
This
heat of the
figure-
sun almost unbearable for some of you dressed in heavy armor.
Do we have any sense of how large this figure is? Like, is it orc-sized or human-sized?
Hard to tell, but he's wide. Seems pretty broad. He sits in a cross-legged manner.
As we start up, I assume we're starting up, but before we go, Isaiah's gonna catch up with Calder real quick and just be like, that thing you did with the bear with the two heads. He sort of looked up at it before the rest of us knew it was there. Maybe just if you could do that again as we get close enough. Just in case.
Not sure it applies to orcs, if that's what that is. I'm also kind of concerned that might just be a corpse baiting us.
Well, I was thinking more it was something like the things on the bridge.
Could be.
But it's an idea.
Yeah, as soon as we're close enough, I'll try.
Appreciate it.
How close do you all plan on getting? You approaching up to him? Or
Yeah, well, I'm gonna divine sense at 60 feet.
Okay. Nothing.
I'll look to Isaiah and shake my head.
As soon as you get to the 60 feet, the figure slowly raises a hand. Without looking up at you. Now that you get closer, you see this long white beard. Kind of flows down past his chest into his stomach.
I'll stop and kind of hold my hand up to the others.
Next to Calder.
In front of you, just about 10 feet in front of you, a wall of fire emerges, and it caresses from side to side on each wall and blazes about 20 feet in the air. All of you have to step back from the heat. It whirls and whirls, and it begins to lower. And as you do, or as it does, the man is standing. The rest of you notice, as you all kind of taken aback by this, flanked on both sides of you, above you, are 3 figures on each side, all on horseback, different breeds and colors. They all wear some sort of odd dragon-like mask, skulls on their heads. One of them, bare-chested, shows a dark green skin. They all seem to be about 6 foot or above, 230, 280 pounds. Some of the skulls embellished by feathers. Multiple different colors, dulled by the sun. Some not really dressed in armor, but others in what looks like thin cloth of different makes. Some darker than others, some lighter than others, some painted with white and yellow streaks across his chest. Another one, a massive sun painted on the forehead of the dragon that he wears on his head.
I'll look to the older one in front of us, and again hold my hands up, sign of peace. We come in peace. We're not looking to fight. We want to help. Just talk. Do you understand me?
There's no response, but there is a sign. He just goes like this.
Do any of us recognize that?
Yeah, does Vulcan know what that means?
Just roll me a general intelligence check, Vulcan.
And on the... So, do I just add my modifier for intelligence?
Yep.
Okay, 15.
You don't. Hard to tell exactly what he is conveying here. The wall of fire now stands in front of you about 25 feet. But there is a part that has now been made that you can see just the figure standing ahead of you. The flames kind of licking in front of him every once in a while.
Ren, do you want to try?
I can. Yeah, I will. I kind of feel like
Maybe a brief warning telling him that.
If you
Yeah.
can understand me, I'm sorry I don't understand your signs, but my friend here can connect to your mind to speak that way.
if you don't like it, you can just end the connection yourself. I'm not doing anything. It's just communication.
Give me a persuasion check, Calder.
Come on, baby. Oh. 12?
He goes like this.
Okay, I think that's an invitation. I apologize if I'm wrong, and I will attempt to make a connection to him. And while I'm making connections, I'm going to make one to Calder and Velkin. And in his mind, I'm just going to last 1 hour. In his mind, I'm just going to hear, "Hi, I'm Ren. Is this an acceptable way for us to talk?"
See the flames just lick in front of you every once in a while. Untouched by chaos. Why do you come here?
Well, and I'm going to speak out loud for everyone's benefit. We're here. He wants to know why we're here. I'll say to everybody. Well, we think somebody's going to try to open the gate, and we don't want them to. That's like the quick version.
We've seen devastation wreaked across a vast portion of land, and we think that there are people here beneath the ground trying to do much worse. Working with The Drow, the Dark Ones.
And I'll just say in his head, can you understand my friend when he speaks out loud?
He begins to sign in many different languages, or not languages, but in very different symbols with his hands and gestures. But in your head, you hear, "Your friend knows nothing of chaos or destruction. You bring with you something that cannot be allowed inside the Dwarven ruins. You bring with you the destruction that the dwarves had brought upon their heads long time ago."
We do, or just a couple of us?
You know who you are.
Okay. So about that, do you know much about that? Because we don't. Oh, and I'll translate. Sorry, I translate this for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing but what the Father of the Sun has told us. We have been charged here for millennium to keep chaos at bay. The dwarves dug too deep and brought that destruction upon their heads. We will be charged to never let it happen again.
Well,
We are sorry, we are here to that same end. There are those who are avoiding your guard and getting there to do it again. We're here to stop them if we can.
they have the chaos too. They brought the chaos.
There is no way to get where you seek other than through these doors. You're either lying, or we have failed at our charge.
Well, we're not lying, but we had intelligence that the others that seek to bring the chaos, came here and met with the drow and disappeared in the tunnels at the opening of the rift. We have reason to believe that they're traveling through the tunnels and trying to find another way to the gate. And forgive me, but I feel like the drow probably know the underground better than you do.
They may think they do. If the drow have access to the place you seek, then we would know of it. Utu
Oh.
would have told us. Utu would have shown us a sign.
Who is
We were
Utu?
Utu is the god of the sun, and I am his speaker.
And Utu is the one that guards the gate, that charges you to guard the gate against the chaos beyond it?
Utu is no ally of chaos. And you bring it here, to our home.
We seek to be rid of it.
You
To
will
send
not
it back where
find
it came
answers
from.
there.
We're not here seeking answers as much as we are, again, to serve the same end that you do. We want to stop the unleashing of chaos.
How would Utu warn you? What would his signs typically be?
He closes his eyes and bows his head. Give me a persuasion check, the two of you.
26.
Okay. 13 plus 19. 19 total.
Our people have suffered for many years. Recently, 10 or so, there were once many of us. Many more than there are now. I fear you might be right. For at least 100 years, the chaos has laid at bay, and we have been charged to keep it there. There have been signs. Utu has give us signs that something is stirring within that place. But I have lost too many people to it. I will consult with Utu to see if he allows you entry. Other than that, I have nothing else to say to you.
He waves his hand and the wall drops. You see him limp as he picks up a staff that has a very beautiful golden emblazoned sun. As he limps his way up to the top of the stairs, turns his back to all of you.
You will do well to stay where you are. Do not interfere.
He says back in your head.
I will relay the message.
And we wait.
Yeah. And I'm just going to kind of look at Redrick and then.
You heard him.
I guess,
What I've been saying the whole time.
You
Know the
look,
risks.
and the others that had flanked you are no longer there. Seemingly disappeared within the conversation.
That's unsettling.
The one thing they've been trying to keep out. Years and years, and we're just bringing it to them.
But if it's attached to us, it's got to be attached to the ones that we're chasing, too.
It can't help that more of whatever the fuck this chaos is down there.
Well, no, but, like, if we shouldn't be down there, then they definitely shouldn't be down there. Nobody else is going to stop them.
We've been over this. Redrick, if you want to leave, nobody's stopping you. We're here now.
It just feels like things can only be worse. For me and everyone involved if I go down into that gate. And I don't know. Is there any evidence to the contrary? Is there anything saying it won't be? It's what everyone's been telling me. It's what the fucking voices are saying too. Drawing us down there and shit. I don't like it.
I don't know, man. We're walking
Still
into
no sign
hell.
of the hawk.
Perception check.
10.
No sign of the hawk.
We're all just here doing the best we know how.
Think
We don't
about
have
it,
a lot of good options.
and think about it like this, Redrick. Most of us that don't have whatever's going on with you are alive, at least in part because of you. So, yeah, you going down there might not be the best thing. But us as a group going down there is probably the best thing that can happen. Because it sure as shit seems like there's nobody else doing what we're doing right now to make a difference in whatever happens.
And what if it wants me there because it's gonna make me fucking on its side. What if it's something like that? You still want me to
And
come?
I'll put you
still-
down, Redrick.
Yeah, but
Alder's
you
really
don't
good
have
at putting
to.
us down.
So the consolation for me is that I get to die if I go down there. If that happens,
We
then
might all
Keep
die
you knocked
anyway.
out.
and you want another entity against you down there then in that situation. I don't. It cannot have. Whatever. Fuck it.
It's a risk. I know. I understand the trepidation. We all do. But listen, we don't always see eye to eye, right? But you are a bad son of a bitch, and I would love to have you by my side in that fight. If you turn, and I'll do what I have to do. But if you don't, I want you there.
It's exactly what they want. I can't get over it. It's exactly what we're doing. Just whatever it is wants. I'm locked in at this point. I don't think there's any getting away from it, but just know we are playing right into whatever it is hands.
I know.
But you have a habit of doing the exact opposite of what people want from you. So if it wants you to go down there and turn against us, don't turn against us. You seem to have a habit of doing the exact opposite.
Really easy for you to say.
Has it spoken to you recently? Because it hasn't spoken to me recently.
Last time was right before the drow.
Oh, so after the flames and everything?
Yeah. After
Yeah.
the flames and everything.
I think that's the last time I heard from it too.
At this point, all of you see the old orcish man that had spoke to you look down upon all of you from the cliffside above. It overhangs the large golden statues in the Golden Gate. He then turns away from you and sits cross-legged, looking directly at the sun.
Has your Lord of the Light spoken to you?
No, are you talking to him?
Mhm.
No, he's far. He's up on a
Oh,
cliff that was looking down upon all of you. And he turned and began to look at the sun.
So, like, he probably just got up there.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. My bad. I thought you were saying he was at the top of the
Climb.
stairs.
Long climb.
I guess that's how you talk to the sun? By staring at it?
I suppose so. Probably not good for the old asset.
Probably not. Why do you think that's interesting that they worship the sun, but the forest is so dark?
Maybe that's why.
I don't know.
Maybe the forest is something else. Not connected to the.
Interesting.
And that's why they're here. What?
I was gonna say interesting point. You said that darkness extended beyond the forest as we kept walking, right? Like we got out of it and it was still kind of unnatural.
No, as soon as you exit the forest, the unnatural, like extinguishing of their light ceased.
Okay, never mind.
Anyway, it looks like we got some time. Called to come over here. I gotta do some fittings.
All right.
You begin to wait for this old man to return. You wait. An hour goes by. 2, 5. Night comes. And he sits there and stares into the same spot the entire time.
While we're waiting, do any of the other figures that were on either sides end up having to show up, either above or around?
You do not see any sign of them the entire time you wait.
As darkness settles in, then should try getting some sleep. I don't know how long he's gonna be.
Can I copy a spell from the spellbook reading?
Sure. Which one would you like to copy?
Lightning bolt.
Okay.
Would you be able to make any during that entire waiting period? Would you be able to make any ammo for me? Any ability to do that?
The ammunition isn't the hard part. I've got some iron, some steel. I can make balls, but do you have any extra that the powder?
Funny enough, his weapon never used powder. When he mentions that, you're like, powder? I had to put powder in my weapon.
Wow. Would you look at that?
Well, look at that.
Would you look at that?
Look at that. Weird.
When you've made ammunition before and he's handed you ammunition, it has just been steel balls, no casing or powder inside of it. Now that you're thinking about it, though, huh?
Does that work? I'm in the middle.
The armor can wait, Isaiah.
It's just it's getting so close.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. Can I promise I'll put it back together.
Oh, okay.
Just
Please.
take a little while, because it shouldn't work the way it is.
Just please be careful with it, and I'll give you my pistol.
Okay,
While you two are up fussing, the rest of us should try and get some sleep.
Oh, real quick, Calder, that you're good at inspiring talking. Do you mind just giving a couple of seconds? Make sure I don't want to fuck this up.
Yeah, pat him on the shoulder. You got this, buddy. You
Oh.
have guidance.
Wait a second, hold on. Maybe
I go lay down.
do you want a snack? I can give you a snack.
Sure.
Have a snack. It's okay. You feel a warmth in your pocket.
Have a snack.
All right.
wow,
I
he
am a
gave
snack.
somebody an inspiration die. It's crazy.
All right.
Let's see how this thing works.
Forget I have them.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to disassemble Calder Cass's pistol.
Yeah, not doing any permanent changes. Just trying to the way the pieces fit together. I want to take them apart to see if I can figure out how it works.
Okay, roll me a tinkering check. And add your proficiency modifier to it.
Guidance, but same difference. Oh,
If you use the inspiration, it is a D8.
I know. Story what? No, I'm gonna do it just in case.
Please.
I don't wanna fuck anything
Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
I'm gonna do it just in case. Oh, but this is the first time he's used your information.
So what's the snack?
Damn. About 3/4 of the way through, he's sweating a little, concentrating very hard, and he just takes a deep breath, puts everything down for a minute, reaches into the pocket and pulls out like just the most crudely ugly decorated cookie that looks like it's got way too much sugar in it. It's got like candies that shouldn't be in a cookie in it. Something that was assembled by somebody who's just starting to learn how to bake. And he eats that, and it's a D8 for inspiration at this point, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
That is adorable.
18 plus 3 is
Really sad.
21.
Yeah.
Plus 7 is 28. Plus
Oh my God.
my Tinker's Tools is another 6, so that's 34.
Oh my.
Hey.
Oh.
Jesus
Whoa.
Christ.
The DC was
Someone
25.
invented the gun.
Okay.
So
Wow.
you should be happy you did all of that. You begin to disassemble the weapon. You're not used to working with something so small and so fiddly. You begin to remove piece by piece until you're able to remove the barrel from the handle of the gun. Removing a few springs, placing them in the sand and dirt, exactly how you had found them. When you begin to examine the barrel, you look inside of it. Up there. You look at the handle. Seems pretty worn and used. Right where the handle firing pin would meet the steel, you see a small little rune inlaid with sapphire. It kind of shines in the starlight. What languages do you speak?
Common, Dwarvish, and Goblin.
You do not know the language that this rune is inscribed.
I'd be hanging around with them. Would I be able to? Would I take a look?
Shh. What languages do you speak?
Oh, a whole lot of them. I believe it's common and celestial.
You do not know the rune in which, or the language in which this rune is inscribed.
Very interesting.
Hand me the. You still have your notebook, right?
Him notebook.
I'm just gonna make sketches of the individual pieces and copy the rune down, because Velkin said she could read everything. So put that to the side for whenever she wakes up sometime later.
She is awake, by the way. She's reading.
Whatever he feels like talking later after he's done. And this is. That's why it doesn't make sense. This is very impressive work.
I'll just spend a lot of time making it, so that's kind of his little pride and joy when he was showing it off when we were comparing pistols.
All right then. Well, I guess I'll put it back together and see if I can get you a few rounds.
Appreciate it, thank you.
And he'll slowly and carefully, he'll actually start cleaning things and doing the little bits of oil as he puts it all back together.
Okay.
And then starts trying to, I guess, work through the night and get some ammo going.
What that means in a game perspective is, Castus, your attacks with your weapon, your pistol, count as magical.
That's so cool.
You should definitely talk to Velkin about the whole figuring this out thing. And you gotta say, "Oh, I'll keep working. You go ahead." See if she's up and willing.
There's nothing else. Oh, good.
Go. Wait, we do it later.
The next morning comes as the rest of you sleep. When you wake up, the hot sun hitting the skin of your faces, you look up, and the orcish figure still sits at the edge of the cliff.
God.
Seeming like he has not moved.
God, I am patient, but me, my legs would be cramping by now.
A few hours go by. And then a few more as evening begins to approach. And you finally see him stand, disappear behind the hill. Eventually, you see him emerge at the top of the stairs, begin to descend slowly, step by step.
My charge is over,
He says,
Utu has granted us freedom.
Is he speaking? Or
He is.
Okay.
to all of you.
Talking out loud.
He is,
Wow.
in common.
Our people have suffered long enough. He grants us freedom as a blessing. You say you are willing and ready to rid us of this chaos and yourselves.
We will try.
And you slowly see him remove his cloak. He pulls his head, the hood down, and you see this bald head, pocked brown speckles. This almost mint green skin has seen many, many years, sort of turned a cracked gray. A ponytail hangs in the back, just below the base of his skull, and it flows down into his back. He wears nothing as he removes his cloak. You can tell this orcish man has seen age. His skin tight against his muscles. But he looks fit. Looks like he has not let himself go in his old age. You see nothing in his eyes but white. The beard flows long down upon his chest. Kind of see the remnants of some hair on his chest as well. There's nothing but these simple brown cloth pants. He stares at all of you.
He has charged me with one thing. That you prove it.
He drops the staff.
Red One. Let me see exactly if you can control the chaos. And whether your charge of your bloodline can live up to its fabled name.
And he takes a stance.
Good luck, buddy.
Let's go!
And that's where
Fabled
we'll end
name?
Obi-Wan!
What's his fabled name?
And that is where we end our session tonight.
1v1. 1v1.
Yay!
Oh god damn it!
Wow,
We're not
no.
gonna play next week. Fucking fuck.
Oh, ass.
Find out what happens next time.
Why
In
2
weeks.
I know.
Cancel the trip, Gordon.
I guess I'm staying.
He said your charge lives up to its fabled name, by the way.
To who?
Redrick.
To Redrick.
All right. Well, that was an episode, I guess. I'm a little bit stunned. But to everyone still here, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's gonna be 2 weeks before we figure out what happens.
Indeed.
Oh God. Anyway, check out social media. We have a Discord. Check out the podcast.
We'll be back July 9th.
Yes.
That Saturday for Speechless Nights to talk about this moment and others.
So I can just be a nervous ball of energy for the next episode. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We love you guys.
Yeah, guys, make sure to follow if you haven't yet, so you can get entered into the giveaway whenever we hit 100 followers too. So
yes,
make sure that everyone gets in there. So.
If you're watching on YouTube or something, make sure you follow on Twitch, because it is through Twitch where our main home is. So we appreciate you watching.
All right, everybody.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.